This video is to review over the various parts of the integumentary as they are visible on two various integumentary models. As we review this, we will do close-ups to show the various structures in a little bit more detail. First thing we will review over is going to be the three basic parts of the integumentary system, and that's going to include the epidermis, the dermis, and then finally the hypodermis. Now with the hypodermis right here, we can see that that's the hypodermis because of the presence of the adipose tissue. The hypodermis itself is not part of the integumentary system, but is always covered when the integumentary system is studied. As we return back up here to the epidermis is subdivided into 5 sublayers or strata. What we need to do is to find one that is a control factor. So this right here is the stratum granulosum, and that'll be the area you'll want to first find on the model. Below the stratum granulosum we have the stratum spinosum, and then this very thin layer right across there that appears purple is the stratum basale. Going back to the stratum granulosa, up above we'll have the stratum corneum, and then on the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet we will have a fifth layer, which is called the stratum lucidum. With regards to the dermis is subdivided into 2 sublayers. We have this area right here that's in that indented section, and that is the papillary layer, and then all of the remaining material is the reticular layer. As we continue on the model, one of the things we'll notice is this right here. That's a muscle. That is the arrector pili muscle, which causes goosebumps. Then we return to the hair follicle. The hair that's shown up above is the shaft of the hair. As we move down, we get to the root. The sac that holds the hair is called the follicle. When we get to the bottom section of the hair is called the papilla. And then we have the indention here, so we have the papilla of the bulb. Excuse me, the bottom part is called the bulb. The indention is the papilla of the bulb. Moving back up, we'll see this sac right here. That is a gland. That's an oil gland, also known as a sebaceous gland. Our sudoriferous, which is our sweat glands, will appear as these coiled tubes. If we continue, we can see this on a second model. On the second model, again, you'll see the papilla of the bulb, you'll see the follicle, you'll see the hypodermis, the dermis. Right here we have the sudoriferous, or the sweat glands. Right here we would have the sebaceous, or the oil glands. Moving up, we would have the hair shaft. We spin this around and it looks very similar. One additional structure that we can see is on this model right here. Within the papillary region of the dermis, we have Meissner's corpuscle, which is going to be a sense receptor. If we come over to this video and we look at this model, again, very similar to the previous. You can see the arrector pili. You can see the sudoriferous glands right along here. Very difficult on this side to be able to differentiate the different layers of the epidermis. But you can see the sebaceous glands, you can see the follicle, you can see the papilla of the bulb, the hypodermis and the dermis, and you can see the papillary layer of the dermis, and then the reticular layer.